Effects: Obsolete Effect, Invert, Solid Composite. So, let's talk about the most basic video effects that I use. Firstly, we go to the video effects in the Effects panel. Recently, the Obsolete folder appeared, where the most frequently used effects were placed. Here we have several color correction effects. There are Auto Color, Auto Contrast, and Auto Levels. These effects adjust the image in brightness, saturation, etc. in automatic mode. But there is a problem with them, because if some actions are in the video, the brightness of the image will change. They automatically adjust, that's why the unnecessary flickering is created in the frame. So, I don't recommend using these effects categorically. The brick icons to the right of the effect names means the following. The first vertical row shows that the effect uses hardware acceleration. If we have a built-in video card, then we can use not only the Mercury playback engine. Let's say you have CUDA and OpenCL, then these effects use hardware acceleration. If there is no such icon, then the effect won't be able to use hardware acceleration. You can understand by these brick icons how much the effect is worthy of attention. If we look, the old effects won't have hardware acceleration. The effects can be filtered if we use the icons to the right of the search bar on the Effects panel. For example, the first one is Accelerated Effects. If we turn it on, the effects with hardware acceleration will be displayed. Next, the second vertical row of brick icons with the number 32 indicates that this effect is able to work in a 32-bit color space with a floating point. This is a huge color space that allows you to work more carefully with color. It uses more resources, but the result can be with fewer artifacts, errors, etc., and much better in general. The following vertical brick icons with YUV are an indication that these effects can work with a YUV color space. We have two color spaces. First of all, this is RGB. Second, this is YUV. YUV is a color model in which a color consists of three components: brightness, Y, and two color different components, U and V. So, what is useful in the Obsolete folder? First of all, it's fast blur. That we have already seen. Next we have a fast color corrector. It basically exists. It works faster than Lumetri Color. It's worth using because it has one tool that is not available anywhere else. If we open the settings of this effect in the Effect Controls panel, we will see that it has a color circle that can be moved with slider. This circle is called the Monceau color system. The circle has a great feature. It allows you to spin the ring and change the tints inside the frame. It creates acid shades with a large spread. Sometimes, when we need to adjust the skin tone a bit, these small spins will be very helpful. Otherwise, the same tools are used here. Let's consider the following function. It's Luma Corrector. I don't know how useful it is. This is a fairly outdated tool. What is the difference between the new tools and the outdated ones? They haven't full visibility and clarity in the settings of effect controls. There are a lot of numbers and confusing words without visual hints and tools. The next Luma Curve tool has almost the same functionality, but the curve is added. The curve works according to the following principle. The darkest colors are at the bottom, the lightest colors are at the top, and the medium colors are in the middle. If we pull the middle down, then we'll lose the middle colors. Dark and light will remain in place, and vice versa. But we'll consider all the color settings further and in more detail. Next we have such a function as the three-way color corrector. This is a cool effect that comes to replace Lumetri presets. We skip the Adjust folder because everything is old junk. The Blur and Sharpen folder contains many different blurs. Many are useful, but only 3 effects of all has hardware acceleration. It's directional blur, Gaussian blur, and sharpen. Most often you can use directional and Gaussian blur. Directional blur differs from the others in that we can set the direction for it. Let's talk a little about the channel folder. In this case, Invert simply inverts the video. It inverts all 3 channels, or each one separately. It helps to create an unusual effect by changing colors radically. Most often, I use it to invert the alpha channel. For example, when we receive a video with a wrong alpha channel, we need the same clip in reverse. So we just use invert to the alpha channel, and it gives me back the inverted video. For example, let's consider a graphic image. It's a white text on a black background with an alpha channel. For clarity, we will enable alpha itself using the settings on the program panel. Then we move graphic image over the clip and remove alpha mode. So we can see the text, and if we invert the alpha channel, we will get an image where the bottom video will be shown instead of the text. To do it, we should select channel, alpha, and change the scale or size if it's necessary. Another interesting effect that we can apply is solid composite. It creates a color field inside the selected video. We set source opacity to 0. We can create it on the layer above, or we can create it on the video. It can be very convenient if we want to make an effect inside a single layer. Let's say we can animate this parameter by making the source opacity equal to 100 and putting a few points. Thus, we get a clip-on flicker effect. There are many ways to create clip effects, but this one is one of them. We can apply solid composite not only on this layer, but also on the adjustment layer. To do it, we put it above other videos and copy the created solid composite points into it. Finally, we have got a strobe effect that we can save and use it further.